and I welcome you all to the first episode of Beauty versus Health. That is no more Thinspiration, with the co-owner of Holistic Solutions, and who is also a psychologist, a counselor, a tarot card reader. Apart from all that, she's an amazing person who never fails to lend a hand when a person is in need. That's Zinia Bharucha.
Thank you so
Hi.
much,
Thank you so
Tanya.
much. Yeah. So before we start this session, I know that all the viewers, you all have heard a lot about what we have to say about body shaming, but I don't think we focus on all the information that comes across us. So this is the best opportunity to get a better understanding of what is body shaming and how. Did we just go? Okay. This is the best opportunity to grab. Okay, I'm fumbling. This is the best time when we get the opportunity to know what is body shaming and how it affects our mental health. So I would like Zinia to tell our viewers what is considered as body shaming.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
This is
so thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Uh, Body shaming is basically putting across derogatory, negative comments, being very critical about an individual's body, either doing it deliberately or even trying to do it unconsciously, but passing that comment on, with an intention as if you have a good or a nice intention, but it's still derogatory, it's still critical comments that are being passed on to an individual's body shape, to their structure, all of that. Whether these comments are direct or indirect, it doesn't matter because it still affects the person. Unmute yourself, please, so we can hear you.
Can hear you. Okay, thank you. What do you think? What causes body shaming amongst people?
There are actually
There are
a lot
actually
of
a lot of
factors
factors.
affect a person leading to body shaming. I feel one of the major reasons or factors that can cause body shaming at a major extent is currently the media. So there is a lot of, there's a lot of media outlet which is showcasing achieving the ideal so-called stereotypical body type. There's a lot of pressure on young girls, teens especially, to get into that ideal body shape type, because they feel and they have this notion that if they won't, then they will not be accepted, it will not be considered normal, and they will be shunned by the society. Unfortunately, the layman gets so influenced by media, by movies, by shows, reality shows, all of that, that everybody considers it as being normal if you're in a certain body weight and if you're having a certain body structure. And if the body weight or structure is even slightly above that, then it's considered as abnormal and you're shunned majorly. These are one of the few major factors that lead to body shaming. Another very important factor is not having adequate awareness, not having adequate knowledge as to what body positivity is all about, and why it's so important to not get so involved in such petty things and actually focus on how you can improve your mental health when you get so obsessed with having a particular body structure or body type. So lack of awareness, not being educated the right way, having a lot of media sources that are unfortunately promoting a very unrealistic body type, and the common perception that the layman has, I feel all of that affects majorly.
Okay, anything in specific which holds the cause after body shaming?
Anything in specific which
Anything.
holds the cause after body shaming? Not really. There are all of these factors and many, many more that I feel will influence a person, and more so it will depend on what sort of culture, where the individual is coming from. A lot of it will depend on the conditioning that they've also experienced from the environment, from their external sources. So even their
So
peer member,
even their peer
their
member,
parents, everybody
yeah,
starts hard
everybody
on
starts
having
hard
a
yeah. On having
body,
a body.
why it's an issue.
Yeah, I would like you to tell us a little in detail about the societal pressure people feel when they have they go through body shaming.
Okay. So, for example, give you an example to clarify this even better. So, if I'm an individual today and I'm a teen, I'm 11 years, 12 years, getting into that teenagehood at 13, and I see on a reality show this really famous celeb who's talking about how she used a particular diet to shun that weight and to get those six pack abs and all of that, then that gets into my head every single time that okay, this is what is considered as normal, this is what is considered as attractive, and I need to reach this stage here, I need to ensure that I do xyz in order to get to this stage. Now the society in a way acts like a vicious cycle because the society influences you more and more to the society influences you more and more to ensure that reach this stage. So there are a lot of supplements that are available in the market. There's this major fad about various diets, healthy nutritious food, all of that, a lot of nutritious supplements, and many more things, how the society is contributing. But what we need to understand here is, unfortunately, the society is only harping on having a particular body type or a particular figure for a person, instead of harping on making the body healthy, instead of harping on focusing on maintaining fitness, increasing your energy levels, boosting your mental well-being. Along with that, the society keeps harping on just how you can become fit, and what are those things that you can do to become more thin, to become more lean, and how can you lose that excessive weight in a manner.
Yeah, that's very true. I would also want you to tell us, like, what kind of causes does body shaming have on girls and boys, like on different genders? I would like you to tell us that.
What difference does body shaming have on
Am I audible? Am I audible to you? Okay, you're lagging. Your video is lagging.
Okay, just give it a moment, I think it should be good now. Yeah. Okay. So to answer your question as to what and how body shaming affects a boy or a guy as compared to a female or a girl, I think women have it in a more difficult manner when it comes to body shaming, because there's this stereotypical image, there's this particular perception, and there's this body image that's been harped on more. As men, it's not that much, because I've seen a lot of men who are relatively not in that particular ideal body weight, and who still want to have that ideal girl, who want to have that ideal woman as their partner, who is thin and lean despite not being thin or lean themselves. So it's more hypocrisy in a manner. So like, it's fine, it's acceptable to take a stand if a guy is not thin or lean, or is not exactly having that six pack ab, but for a girl, her criteria, her status, the way she's defined, the way she's looked upon, majorly depends on her body structure and her body size, unfortunately, which is extremely saddening, which is a pity, because women are still considered as objects of display, and objects of beauty, instead of being considered as much more, which is their intelligence, which is their ability, which is their potential. It's still not changed, unfortunately.
Yeah, so how, as an individual, like in a man individual, affects body shaming? If a particular male is going through body shaming, what kind of like changes do you think he or she would be facing?
So, if a guy is experiencing body shaming, usually the stigma connected with that is so intense that, first of all, they'll not be able to even come out and talk about it. So, seeking help, or asking for any form of resource is an absolute no-no, because men are still conditioned to try and be tough. Men are still conditioned to not express. This is how
So
drive.
yeah, so do you think that men are like more kind of in that bubble that they can't even talk about body shaming. So that's why they might be having more kind of stress or having more mental health problems when it comes to body shaming. Do you think that? Right? Hello.
Hi, could you repeat
Yeah.
the last part, please?
Yeah, so as you just said that men, they are just because of the society, they have to keep that all men are strong kind of image. So they don't let it out that what kind of things they are going through, especially when it comes to body shaming. As you just said that no men are perfect, but still they just try to, they try to be like, yeah, I'm perfect. So still they have this conscious biting in them. Their ego might be telling them that no, this is not the right body you have, but they can't even show it out loud. So you think that that could be one of the factors which could be affecting their mental health?
I feel absolutely that's one of the major factors that's affecting their mental health. Simply because it can lead to massive amounts of anxiety, massive
There's a
amounts of depression
problem with your we,
and
your
various
video
issues in
isn't
that
visible.
person, for sure.
um can you repeat the last part because it wasn't audible?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay. I think this should be better.
Yeah, this works. Can you say something?
So, yes, yeah, it definitely affects the person's mental for sure, especially a guy because it makes them more anxious, even more depressed, and a low self and a low image overall. So, it definitely affects them.
So, can you tell the viewers that how does an individual combat body shaming? How does he or she learn how to overcome body shaming? That's the main part. Am I
Okay.
audible?
So,
Okay.
in order to overcome body shaming, yes, if you want to overcome body shaming, the best way to do that is to educate yourself as well as others about body positivity, understanding how maintaining a certain body structure is not the main primary focus for any individual, making your environment and people around you more aware, educating them, taking a stand for yourself when people pass derogatory comments and telling them that it's not acceptable to do something like this, it's not acceptable to be so critical, and it's not acceptable to be so negative, explaining how mental health can get affected with this because of this, actively contributing by getting involved in various events or various places, various organizations that are talking about body shaming, and playing your role as a good citizen in that, and helping yourself as others by seeking out necessary help. So going forward for therapy, meeting a professional if you feel it's adversely affecting your health, taking the help of loved ones as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what if somebody comes? How do we come to know that the person is feeling body shamed? If I am a particular society, like I want to contribute to the society, but how do I know that the person is actually feeling body shamed?
So there are certain classic signs by which you can identify that someone is probably experiencing body shaming. experiencing body shaming, a major classic sign is being continuously obsessed about the way you look and appear, till an extent that, for example, even if you're taking a picture, continuously obsessing on how you're not that clean, how you're not having that six pack ab, thinking continuously about the way you physically appear and your physical image is one classic sign. Another classic sign is determining your sense of self-worth based on the way you look, and keeping every other aspect of your life on a standstill because of that. So for example, even if you're doing well in your career, or you're a confident individual, or you're financially stable, none of that matters for you until and unless you achieve that ideal body weight and you achieve that ideal body shape. All of these are classic signs. And feeling low, dull, down, depressed,
Dull,
anxious
down,
is again
depressed,
another
anxious
classic
is
sign.
again another classic sign. What are those? I would like you to share with our viewers that what are those disorders which are product of body shaming? Like, what kind of disorders could we get? Like psychological disorders we could get out of body shaming.
What are the psychological disorders that you can get because of body shaming? There are many, many, starting from eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia, the more common ones. You can develop a mental health issue as well. I would not term it as a disorder, but I would say it's a mental health issue or problem such as anxiety, depression, major amount of stress. Till a great extent, you can also experience OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. Some people, because they feel so restless and out of control, tend to develop bipolar as well. But again, this depends on the intensity and allowing it to affect you.
Okay, okay. So, do you have anything else apart from all these questions to tell our viewers about how to love themselves and how to combat body shaming?
Yes, I would like to
Yes, I would like to
take a moment and
a
explain
moment
focus on
and
yourself
focus on
and
yourself
to focus
and
on
to
your own
focus on
image.
your own
Of course,
image.
there's
Of
no
course,
harm in
there's no
wanting
harm
to
in
get better
wanting to
in
get
terms of
better
weight to
in
appear,
terms of the
but
but
don't allow it to obsess you.
don't allow it to
Don't
test you.
allow it to
Don't
become
allow it to,
so compulsive that
be
that's the
so compulsive.
majorly
That's the
way that's
majorly
governing your life.
way that's governing your life.
Ensure that you educate and
Ensure
aware
that you
yourself, make
get
yourself
aware
more aware,
yourself, make yourself
understand
more
what
aware,
body
understand what
is
body
about,
is about,
start focusing on your own self.
focusing
So
on your own
emphasize
self. So
self-love,
emphasize
prioritize
self-love, prioritize
focus on self-care
focus
because that's
care
what will
because
lead you
that's
ahead
what
in
will
life.
lead you ahead in life. Yeah, yes, true. Okay. Thank you, Zinnia. Thank you for being here with us. It was such a pleasure having you. Thank you for all your time. Thank you so much. It was a great time with you.
Thank you so much, Pratna.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Patna.
much,
Thank
Karma
you so
Foundation,
much,
for
Karma
having me.
Foundation,
Good luck
for
with
having me.
it.
Yes. Okay.